Let's find the excluded values of the given rational expression. Well, to help us find the excluded values of this rational expression, let's go ahead and start off by recalling excluded values. That way we know what we're looking for. Well, here we've been given a rational expression. That's a polynomial divided by another polynomial. The excluded values of a rational expression are the values that make the expression undefined. Well, how do we make a rational expression undefined? Well, if we take a fraction and have 0 in the denominator, that's undefined. Remember, we cannot divide by 0. So, if we have something like 4x plus 8, and we divide it by 0, that's something we cannot do. Here, we end up that this is undefined. So it doesn't really matter what's in the numerator. We could have 4x plus 8, or just a variable, or just a number. The important thing is that we're trying to divide by 0. That gives us an expression that is undefined. So, to find the excluded values of this rational expression, we just need to find the values that make that denominator 0. So let's go ahead and do that. To do that, we want to take the denominator of this rational expression and set it equal to 0. So we take x squared minus 25, and we set that equal to 0. Now, we just need to find the values that make this statement true. Those are the excluded values. Now, before we go solving this equation, let's take a closer look at it. We have something minus 25 equals 0. Well, in order for that to be a true statement, we need to have 25 minus 25, because 25 minus 25 is 0. So we need x squared to be 25. We need 25 to be something squared. Well, 5 squared is 25. But remember, so is negative 5. So it looks like positive 5 and negative 5 are the excluded values of this rational expression. But to be absolutely certain, let's do a more thorough check. Let's go ahead and formally solve this equation. Now, to do that, we could add 25 to both sides, and then take the square root of both sides. But it looks like we have the opportunity to factor. So let's go ahead and get some practice doing that. Let's go ahead and factor that left-hand side. Here we can see we have x squared, so that's something squared. And we can take 25 and rewrite that as something squared too. 5 squared is 25. So we have something squared minus something squared. We have a difference of squares problem. If we apply the difference of squares formula, we get x minus 5 times x plus 5. So now, to find the excluded values, we need to take this equation and solve it for x. And if we look at this equation, we have something times something equals 0. Well, that means we can apply the zero product property and break this up into multiple smaller equations. So we have x minus 5 equals 0, or x plus 5 equals 0. Now we just need to solve each of these simpler equations. To solve this equation for x, we add 5 to both sides. When we do, we get that x is equal to positive 5. With our other equation, to solve for x, we subtract 5 from both sides. And we get that x is equal to negative 5. And look! These are the values we thought we would get as the excluded values. So that means we have found the excluded values of this rational expression. If we plug either of these values into our original expression, we will get the denominator to be 0. That will make the rational expression undefined. So here we have found the excluded values of the given rational expression to be x equals positive 5 and x equals negative 5.